Hi everyone, are you single again and not sure what expenses you have to look at now? Maybe you weren't the person who looked after the finances inside your relationship. This is totally normal. Going from shared life to solo life is a financial reset and it's easy to miss stuff. So I'm going to give you a list of expenses you need to think about as a single person, especially if you're budgeting or thinking you're going to need a home loan. So the first one, your biggest one, is housing. You're paying rent or a mortgage. Are you paying strata or body corporate if it's an apartment or a townhouse? You've got council rates, you've got water rates. Sometimes that's included in rent, sometimes it's not. Home and contents insurance, repairs, maintenance buffers, even renting stuff happens. Rule of thumb, if you own, allow 1 to 2% of the property value per year for maintenance. And if the property is older, it's probably closer to 2%. So number 2 is your utilities and your bills. So electricity, gas, water, internet, your phone, and any streaming subscriptions like Netflix or Spotify. The sneaky ones that you can easily miss are things like insurance, which might be an annual bill, so they don't feel monthly until they hit. Number 3 is food. This changes heaps when you're single. So groceries, takeaway, Uber Eats, coffee, alcohol. Singles often spend more per person because bulk buying is harder. However, if you've got children, then you'll probably spend differently to if you're totally single. Number 4 is your transport. So if you drive, there's fuel, there's rego and insurance, servicing and tyres. Now, servicing, you might go, I can't afford to get it serviced, but you know what? You can't afford not to, because then when something breaks down, it's a big bill. If you get a regular service, you keep control of it better. You've got parking and tolls. If you're working in the city, you're definitely going to have that. And you may have a car loan, so you need to look at that as well. If you don't, then you're going to have public transport, Uber or taxis, and maybe car hire at times. So number 5 would be debt repayments. Banks care a lot. You need to keep these all up to date. And if you don't, talk to someone. Credit cards, even if you can't pay it off monthly, then make sure you make the minimum payment. You've got personal loans, you've got a car loan. Do you have a HECS debt or a help debt that comes out of your pay? Or does it come out at tax time? Afterpay or Zip Pay, you'll need to look at those sorts of things as well. Credit card limits are a big one. Banks assess repayments on things based on the limits, not your balance. So in some cases, it's a good idea to talk to someone about consolidating that debt. I have to admit, I'd rather see a personal loan repayment than a large credit card limit in somebody's expenses, because it services a lot easier. Think about this. Do you have health and insurance? So private health insurance can be expensive. Do you need it? Can you afford it? That's the other thing. Can you afford not to have it? You've got your GP, you've got dentists, you've got physio, medications. What about extras? So do you have glasses? Glasses and dental health. Even if you had extras on the health fund, maybe that would help. Income protection, optional, but smart if you're by yourself. Because what happens if something happens to you and you can't work? Can you pay all your bills and still live on Centrelink? Most people can't. So personal and lifestyle, this is where you have money leaking all over the place, but it's also where you can make the most adjustments. So clothes, are you a big clothes buyer? You may need to shop differently now. Hair and beauty or a barber, all of that can cost money. Shop around. You can get great hairdressers that don't charge you what some of the large salons do. Gym. Do you go to the gym? Do you have a monthly fee for that? Do you play sport? Do you have hobbies? What about gifts? Gifts come around all the time. So somebody's got a birthday, you'll buy them something. You need to be budgeting this into your finances. And Christmas comes every year. So a smart way to do it is to start doing it during the year. Buy things that you can give as generic gifts to people rather than spending a fortune. Or hand make things. If you've got times, maybe your hobbies are replaced by hand making things. People love handmade things. Socialising, dinners, drinks, going out, and also holidays and weekends away. How often do you do that? Maybe your holiday away becomes a camping holiday. These are things you can adjust. So number 8 is adulting, stuff people always forget. Tax debts, especially if you're self-employed. Work expenses, uniforms, tools, courses. If you've got to pay those, they've got to be there. What about pet costs? Food, vet, do you have pet insurance? Child support, do you give child support or do you get child support? That's another thing you need to think about. So memberships, you have union fees, you have professional associations you've got to pay for. What about random emergencies? Massive car repairs, medical, moving costs if you've got to move house. Savings. Savings is an expense too. And if you're single, you're the only one that's responsible for your savings. Aim for an emergency fund if you can, even if you're only putting a few dollars a week away in the beginning. 3 months expenses minimum, 6 months ideal. Car rego, insurance, holidays, Christmas, you need to be putting stuff away for that. So, simple way to figure out your number fast is do this. Step 1 is write down your non-negotiables, rent, bills, food. Step 2, add your lifestyle spend. That can be adjusted. Step 3, add a buffer. Suggest about 10% as a buffer, just in case. At the end of the day, talk to somebody. Talk to somebody about what you spend, how you spend it, and whether or not you can afford to buy a house, for example. It's all part and parcel of it. Have a good broker. Send me a message. I'll definitely try and help you. Have a great weekend, everyone.